So this is the classroom video series in which we see the everyday learning of our class and during class, and I also discuss here the observation, the outcomes of the day, whatever I observe, I learn from anywhere or from anybody. Mm. So first of all, we are going to see a blueprint what we are going to discuss today. So firstly I will discuss today some firstly I discuss some uh, observations about AI, artificial intelligence, and how it is dangerous, and what are the uh, solutions to handle that, and where we are lacking to handle the artificial intelligence. After that we will see the uh, class notes that I have learned in class. Mainly I discuss about function, array, structure, union, and that's it. Three topics mainly: structure, union, and array, a little much function too. Four topics. Yeah, that's the today's goal. So let's start with firstly some observations or some lessons that I have got from the a video that is of Yuval Noah Harari, and if you know, he is a American uh, philosopher, historian, a professor from Oxford, or Harvard. Maybe I not clear, but his book *Sapiens*, *Nexus*, 21 lessons for 21st centuries, like books, and one more book that is Unstoppable Us. That is mainly for children's. We are discussed yesterday some points, and due to my phone gone switch off, I missed some lessons and some observations of that video. So in itself, Unstoppable Us, that is the title of book of Yuval Noah Harari, is in itself a lessons, Unstoppable Us. So this word is used, Unstoppable Us, for human beings mainly. As a human beings, we have a very incredible evolutionary history, how we evolved to a monkey to as a modern human. It was quite interesting, quite engaging if you study about this. So Unstoppable Us, why it is used for human beings. We know we are the most powerful creature of the earth, and no one can stop, and in past even no one had stopped us to come on this level. So in this manner we can say we are the most powerful, and that's why we can say for us we are unstoppable or Unstoppable Us. But another sense, there is a one more meaning of this sentence, Unstoppable Us. As a human beings, we are gradually, by due to some desire, our biological desire, day by day we are in the grip of our greed and several type of desires, and in the blindness of our desire, we are just uh, cleaning, cutting, and destroying everything on earth. We are becoming threat itself for us. So in this manner too we can say Unstoppable Us. Even human being itself becoming fail to stop the human's desire. Huh. The modern days human beings desire is in itself unstoppable by the human beings. So in this manner too we can say unstoppable us. I mentioned a thing that we are the powerful creature of this earth. But you think is the body who are most powerful is also will be the most happier or most uh, happy, and he will have a good life, huh? I think no, because if you compare, there are lots of other animals, they are clever than us. Even clever than us, there are lots of creatures who they are uh, powerful than us. There are lots of creature who have more strength than us. Hmm? But what is a single thing that make us the more powerful in this entire planet? The single thing that make us powerful, that is trust. And by trust we are making an incredible thing, that is a huge collaboration of human beings. Huh? The any other animal can't make a collaboration like a human beings. Huh? A human beings can a 10 or 20 millions human being can be collaborated at a one goal for a one purpose, for a single reason. But you can't gather even 100 or 200 monkeys, chimpanzees for a single reason. If you don't force them, and you don't uh, catch them in the cage, and then you allocate them, by this way it may possible. But generally you go to the monkeys and chimpanzees, even monkeys and chimpanzees itself, for the personal purpose, they can't collaborate in a huge numbers that numbers we human beings have for the collaboration. And this all collaboration, these all big collaborations happens due to the single thing, that is trust. But nowadays trust is lacking all over the world, from all or every person of this world. And this single reason is competition. If you go to the human beings or a businessman, why are you making your AI intelligence so powerful, or even that is unable to handle by yourself, by you. Even they are out of handle, why you are making uh, your AI so advanced or so threadful? So they are just saying that if I will don't make my I will not progress my then my competitor will become more powerful. If I don't become powerful, my competitor will become more powerful than me, and this time I can't trust on my competitor. So this single reason, the single thing that we are lacking from our entire human being. So this is a thing that is more concerning this time. I also said the power is power gives real happiness. No, but how you are translating your power into happiness, it depends on that. Most of the bodies had lost lots of the power, but they are not able to translate their power to a real happiness. So if you are able to capable to translate your power to create a real happiness, then it is quite fine. But most of the cases, as a human being, we have no knowledge to hmm, translate the real power into a real happiness. I also learned one more thing, interesting thing about fear and eating. As a human being, why we fear a lot, why we always desire to eat sweets and any other tasty food. Firstly, we are discussing fear, why we fear a lot. So we know that our beginning happens with Africa, a grassland of savanna. When we are the caveman, when we are living on the trees like a monkeys, uh, we have not such sharp mind, we have not a such collaboration of human beings. Then we are living in a very distorted manner in some groups of peoples. So that time we are always felt lots of threat and dangers, uh, in the form of wild animals. So sometimes in the night, in the days even, the animals like leopards come, or animals like lions, mm, tiger, leopard, lots, the every wild animal, they came to the cave and they caused the babies, because in the daytime there were no any the adult human beings, cavemen, they were always keep their babies on the trees or in the cave, and they went to the hunt or gathering foods. So that time the animal came and my uh, then they catch the little child, and even sometime some adults, and they eat them. In the night too, they come by making some noise, by other uh, by hitting the other objects, so they making a noise. Then people are, when they have they paid attention on the sound, any other sound, they got afraid and frightened. So now even days, our mind, when we are in the conscious uh, state, then we think we are now modern days. But when we are unconscious, when we are in the sleep, we know that we are in the modern days, but our body don't know. For bodies, we are in the nowadays, and now we are in the savannas, grasslands. So whenever we saw any enormous sound or different or unexpected sound or some uh, disorderness in things, then we got frightened due to that biological habit. That a very old tendency, a old habit during camp time. So we can say, when we got frightened by something, that is also the nature of camp time. When that time, when we saw any different animals and different thing that are not similar to us, we even got frightened. So that's why these days also, when people saw anything different from us, or that is not uh, similar to whole group or whole community, they got frightened a little bit. So that shows also that old tendency, that animalistic nature of our human beings. If you talk about eating, why we so eager to eat sweets, so reason behind it, at that time, cap time, when we are in the land of savannah, there are lots of the fig trees, anjeer. So when we go to the daytime for collecting or searching of food, uh, we just saw and eat some figs from the collecting uh, from the ground, but we have no sense to collect. Even you can see the monkeys, they have no sense to collect the anything. Just they instantly eat whatever they able to eat. So similarly, we have no tendency to collect or to store those foods. So we go to the lands whenever we saw any trees, and we uh, when we saw the fallen fruits and any anjeer, we just eat whatever we can eat that time, and then we come back to our cave. And suddenly when we felt uh, hunger, then we again go to the search of food, and whenever we saw just uh, start eating. So it also become a habit for us that we start feeling hunger by seeing any sweet or anything. Due to that repetitively practice of that action, by seeing and eating, by seeing and eating, by seeing and eating. Nowadays, even whenever we saw anything, sweets and any fruits, we are habituated to eat. That is also an animalistic tendency that for of that we are habituated from our cave days, our old days. So that is interesting thing for me when I listen this thing in that video. That's fine. So now we are going to start our real thing. That is, firstly, today we are going to show structure, union, array, function. So firstly, we know about function. We are discussing in C++, C, not C++. So firstly, I discuss function. So if we say what is function, so function is a collection of a statement that performs an specific task. It executes when it is called. A large program is divided into number of small building blocks. For simplification, and building blocks is called function. We can all call function again and again. The most important feature of the function is code reusability. The C library provides many defined function. So I want to explain function, and before that I have written some blueprint. We are going to study structure, union, array. So I will erase that, and also we have in the end we see some questions of functions where we include an array as a class member, then object, then function. We will discuss this in a class and object data type. Class and object, they both are to a type of a data type, or a type of data by which we can arrange any data. Also we know about declaration and initialization. So declaration means is something like declaration, calling somebody. Declare means calling something first time. Means what? Declaration means calling first time. When we call someone first time, then this is called what? Declaration. That's fine. Initialization, when we give initial values means first time. When we give value first time, then this is called initialization. Declaration, calling first time. Declaration, initialization. This is calling. I giving value both first time. That's fine. Cleared? Huh? Declaration, calling first time. Initialization, giving value first time. That's fine. Now we are going to see function. So function is a block of code that help us to perform a specific task. So what is the syntax of a function? So function's syntax is, firstly we write return type, then here function name, and then here argument, or we can say parameter, arg or parameter. We can call both argument or parameter. This is the we can say variable format. This is in the value format. We can call everything argument, anything, both of them, anyone, argument or parameter. That's fine. So function. So when we write this is called declaration. And when we, after declaring, we give some task to perform it, that given task is called definition. Means what it has to perform. This function has to what the task have to perform, and after performing, after specifying what it has to perform, finally we call it again to perform that defined task again. So next thing is calling. We call any function in the main section. Main section, here we call this. So by giving one example, we can say, so we have to do only 3 things. First thing is what declaration. First thing. Second thing, definition. Third thing, what? Calling. In a simple manner we will do. These 2 are performed in a block of code. Firstly, declare means calling first time someone and giving it a task or specifying its task. Suppose you call a person first time, and you defined a task, a work for this person. Means you called Mohan and first time, and you said, Mohan, your task is to make breads, or bake breads. So you defined its task. First time you called Mohan. Hey Mohan, come here. What you did? You declared, means called first time, and then defined its task. This is called definition. Means Mohan, your task is always you have to bake breads. Whenever I call you, you have to come and bake breads. You specified, you defined his task, Mohan's task, and then you said, whenever I call you, you come and bake my bread. So in calling section, we call to the Mohan, we call to the Mohan, then Mohan came, and what he do, performs his task. What is it, his task? To bake breads. For baking breads, just we provide to wheat him, and he will make breads. That's the simple functionalities of a function. So by taking an example, we will see the function, how it works. So first time, suppose we are in include C stdio footage. Suppose we have to what write a function for add. So firstly, what we write? Data type. So data type, suppose data type, return type, not data type. What is return type? Whenever we write int void, this returns integer value, this returns void value. So let's we define a function. Suppose void, this is return type. Void, suppose multiply and we give to the parameter like what we can give it, a, and int a, int b. What we did here, we declared a function of multiplication. Then what we have to do, we have perform our work of declaration. Now we have to what it, Mohan has to, we firstly call it Mohan, and now we have to define its work. What is the work that it has to perform? So we will define here its work. So Mohan, you have to do, Mohan, you have to do what? Take this value, and multiply them. So this is the task of Mohan. And then Mohan, you have to return. But how can Mohan return? This is a void type, so it can't return. So what will do? Nothing, just close it. Now we will write the main section, int main, and in the main section what we will do, we will call the Mohan. We firstly declared the Mohan, means called first time, then we give it a task of multiplication, baking bread. Then we are calling again Mohan. So we will call Mohan, come, and what you have to, we have to give this value and this value, we gave it 5 and 10. Now just print what? Print multiplication equal to sum. So this is the final thing, that Mohan will come and print the value. Also we have two things. first is here something. This is parameter and this is argument. We can also call it formal and actual argument. Formal means that is initially in the form of variable, which exist in the form of variable, that parameter or that argument which exist in the or call primarily in the function declaration, that is called what? Formal uh, argument, and that is given into the main section to finding some value, that is called actual argument. Actual, that we actually provide to find something, to find or calculate some problem. So that is called actual parameter or argument parameter, mainly we can say. So this is formal parameter that is introduced during the declaration of function, and that is given into the main section during the calling of function, that is called actual parameter, because this concept will be used in the during method of calling when we call by value and call by reference. There we will use these two format of parameters. So this is the mainly overall figure of a function. If you use here what is what return type, it decide whether this value will come in which format. So we will discuss 4 type of functions on the basis of this return type and this argument, where sometime we have no return type, no argument, no return type with argument, with return type, no argument, with return type, with argument. Like 4 types we will cover in this section. So it is quite easy. We can see just a code one by one. I just explain here because there is a code for the seeing the lack of time. Function calling. So the similar concept is here. About which I am talking about. No return type, no parameter. No return type with parameter. Return type with no parameter. Return type with parameter. So how will the code will seems for this all 4 type of functions. So firstly, if we saw there is a function declared here, add function. So here if we talk about the return type, and if we talk about here this small bracket, there is nothing in this small bracket. If you saw, there is nothing, means we have not given it here or put arguments and parameters. So here is no parameter. If you say here this is void, means return type is even not available. If there here it will be the integer, means return type is available. Return type will become in the form of integer, but here this time it is what? Void. So void means nothing. Void means empty. So this is not. So which type of this function is? No return and no argument. So no return, no argument, means there is no argument is provided here, and even it will not return any value to the operating system. And so if here the value is not declared as a parameter, then where it is declared? It will be declared in the definition section. So definition section, here we can see int x y equal to 10 and z equal to 20. Y equal to 10, z equal to 20, and we have to find x equal to, so x is add function, so x equal to y plus z, and then print add equal to percentage d add, and then in main section we will provide, or in main section what will we do, always in main section any function has to call. So we will call the main function to add in main function to the add function for calculating this value, because already we have given the value in the main section, in the function definition. Similarly, if we show here one more example is given here. If we saw this on the return type, it is void, means this is not available, return type is not available. But if we saw after add in the argument section, the variables, the arguments are given here, so it is available. So this function will be type of no return type but with argument, or with argument. So now what will we do, just define it in the main section, what we have to perform with these two variables. So as this is an add function, we will just add both the variables, and we will store into a new int variable, that is z. So we had write this all, and we will print add, and then we call this in the main section, and we will provide the value, because value is not provided here to the x and the y. In the parameter field there is no value, so we have to need to provide value in the main section by calling it again to the add function. That's fine. Next, if you show where is function, int add, and here all the parameters are given. No parameters are given. Int, always we got here what, void, but this time it is int, means return type is available. And if you saw here argument is not available, so with return type but no argument. So with return type but no argument, so argument is not given here. So we will what we will do, just define all the variables in the define here in the functions body, and in the function body we will also write a new line, that is return x, because the add function is in the form of x, it is declared here, so we will return the value in the form of x. And in the main section we call for the actual value add function again, and then we will print the value of add. If we show in the next section, here is a int and here is the argument, means also return type is available and also argument is available, both are available. So here we will just define the work of both the variables, and we will call it in the main section and then print the value. So that's it for the function. If we show calling of function, call by reference and call by value. For reference we can say also it a pointer. In general, if we shall call by value and call by reference, so what is the difference between call by values and call by reference? When we call any function by using call by value, just it copy the value and returns the same value. But in call by reference, it behaves like pointer. If we give it any a block of task in the form of function, then it performs that and returns value by changing the actual value that we provided to it. So we can see here also example of call by value. Something a code is given here. So we can say here void add int m, define here adding 10 to m. We have to add 10 in the m, so we defined it m equal to m plus 10. Int main, we int x, what is x, int x equal to 10. Before calling the x, add x or m, m. Why it is x? What is the meaning of x here? M is formal parameter and x is actual parameter. Actual parameter. Oh. So here m is what? Formal parameter and x is actual parameter. So when we provided the value of 10 to the m is what? Formal parameter. Always formal parameter is introduced where? In the where? Declaration section. When we are declaring any function, when we provide a variable in the format of parameter, that parameter is called formal parameter. That is introduced first time. And when we give a value in the main section to the main section to the function here, add x is a what? X is a given value to the x function in the calling section. So in the calling section, whatever value we provide to the function, that is called actual parameter. So here x is already we have declared in the int x equal to 10 as a value of 10. So when we are going to print the value after calling the value of x, it will be returned in the form of x, form of 10. Means what? Before calling and after calling, the value remains same. Means it is not changing. Means it is not adding. It is not adding actually. But if we share in the call by reference, in this type of calling of function, the reference of the value is passed at the time of calling. A call by value change made in the formal parameter reflect in the actual parameters. Reference is also called address. When the address of data is necessary to use pointer in the place of parameter. When the address of data is necessary to use the pointer in the place of parameter. So we can also see here as the place of parameter. Now we have introduced the pointer. Pointer means address. The address of that formal parameter where we want to allocate, or in the memory part where we want to allocate its value to. So this pointer is indicating to that a specific memory location. Here the meaning is that of asterisk m. Here we are asterisk m has to perform. It is defining in the form of asterisk m equal to asterisk m plus 10. Now we are going to see in the main section again, this time to the actual parameter is x, means at the location of x we have to add what, 100. This m and this x is pointing to same memory location, where we have to add the 10 value 10 into the m. M is formal parameter and we are provided the value of 10 to its. So now it will become or return in the form of 20. After calling it will become 20. And why this value just give us both the time up before calling and after calling in the format of 10 because when we here define the 10 means int m, we specify a memory for m, that's fine. But here we said here call a actual parameter as x in the format of 10. It don't store the value of 10 by adding in the m, but it made another memory for 10 and it stored there. So that's why it is returning like 10 two times. We are using another memory for storing the 10 value for x, but here the value is storing at the same place. So that is the main concept of call by value and call by reference. Just reference is indicating to add and the perform function at the same memory location, but in the call by value just we are copying the value on the another location. So that is the basic difference between call by value and call by reference. Now we are going to see what union structure and what array. Array. So what is array? If we talk about array, so what is this is central meaning of array. So array is a data type. We also read it in the data structure. It is a form of data structure, means arranging or giving a structure to the data. Why we use array? If anybody asks us why we use array for arranging data, we have just simple method to just make several variables int or var name and then store value. I just asking, you have to store the marks of 100 students. How will you store? Making 100 variables for each student? How difficult become this? Similarly, if we find another method to storing the value of this all students, we can find easily. We have to just store the value int value 1 just 20, int value 2 30. Similarly, we have to write hundreds marks of students. How difficult this is. But we have a simple method, just a simple method. Just what we can use our array. So what is array? The arrangement of I have written the actual meaning of the array. Just I want to tell you that where is array? Array. Nothing but array. Where I have written this? Yeah. And then another something. Collection or organized group of items. So I'm just talking about this example. If you have a list of students, if you use this method, it's gonna be very difficult. But if you using array method, this is quite simple. Just you have to store the values in the block. But I have don't written the code here. So just I want to show the code. So how a array is initialized, not initialized, just declared. So just for array, we will firstly define its data type, means what will be the format of array, and array always stores same data type of value, same data type. You can't store different type of datas in the array. Means I want to store the marks of a student, and then also in the same array I want to store the name of a student and email ID of another student. So this is not possible for array. For array you have to use a single data type. If you are introduce here the data type as int, so array will contains what? Only the int values. Means its size is suppose 5. So when you will introduce array, how it is called array, so you will introduce 1, means 10, 20, 30, 14, 15. This will be the format of array. Every value has same data type. Similarly, we can also introduce like char array. Not just we can write the name of array by array. We can also write, suppose we are going to introduce some symbols, the SYM in the form of array. We are going to introduce 3 symbols in the array. So these are the array format. It is char type. So SYM equal to, we can introduce dollar, question, exclamation. So these are the 4 symbols. So this is what array. Just we can store a single type of data in this array. If you talk about the types of array, how many types of array? So its type depends on 2 manner, on the basis of size and the basis of dimension. If you talk about size, dynamic and static. So I have don't read this one. I have just read this one, dimension. You have already listened about 1D, 2D, and 3D, blah blah blah. 1D means single. Just we can say this one, linear, linear format. 1D. If you have to store the marks like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We can use this format, linear format, 1D array. 2D, it is also called matrix array. Matrix array means it goes in 2 dimension like matrix format. We will introduce it in both the manner, columns and rows and columns. So this is matrix format. We will store the values in the form of like 5, 4, 10, 0, 20, 3, 33, 44. Like this we can store the value. And location will be in which format? Arrays always follows contiguous memory allocation. Contiguous means what? Continuous. Why? I don't know why it is called contiguous. It is simply can be said that it is continuous. Continuous means without gap, without having gap in the mid. Suppose we have to store the numbers of 5 students. 5 students. So every array has index, some index, and that index may start from 0, but it will goes always continuous without any gap. If we are starting it from 0, then it will go for the array size of 5 from 0 to 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose we have 4 blocks for storing the marks of 5 students. It index will goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can store marks 14, 16, 15, 16, 13, 18. So this is what? This is value, and this is what? Index of the array. So index will be always in which manner? Contiguous manner. It is called contiguous memory allocation. It will going to be follow in the all type of array. Here also we will follow the contiguous memory allocation. So if we give a number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the location of this is 1, 1. The location of this position is what? 2, 2. The location of this position is not this. It will be 3, 3. This position 2 and 3. So we will follow the contiguous memory allocation. Not we are going to just give the random location like we will give 5, 4, 7, we will give 8, and we will give 25. No, this is not a good manner. This is the right manner for allocating the memories in the arrays. It follows contiguous memory allocation. Similarly happens with what? For the 3D array. 3D array, how seems like? So have you ever seen the cube that you always solve to showing people as an intelligent boy? That same thing is called cube. The red, yellow, blue, green cubes are found. They are in the 3 dimension. In which dimension? Firstly, we can see it in this manner. This manner. What? Left, right, up, down, and also forward and backward. So these are the 3 directions. So we can add 2 more walls of queues. So it can be a form of 3D array. And I think no, I can't think. I was going to say that the actual memory works on this manner. You can't say, because if you read about SSD that store every data in the format of VNAND. VNAND is a vertical NAND. So by the name you can say it stores the data in the vertical format. And if you are going to store the data in the vertical format, it is in the which format it will follow the single dimension 1D array format. So you can't just say that the data will be allocated in the memory in the format of 3D or 2D. It may follow any degree, any dimension. So this is the all about, almost not all about, this is just an introduction of array. Arrays, we also read array in the different format. We can also call array in the functions. If you have to call array in the functions, to that we have to know, just don't do any extra cleaning or extra efforts. Just we have to introduce array on the at the place of argument. We have to replace the argument arg by array. So in the place of argument we will what do? Just introduce a array. So if you have to write a code, include stdio.h. so let's make a array int array, not by the array, no, let's array we can give what the size, suppose 3, size will be 3. We declare array. Now we have to introduce and call it in the function. So now we have to introduce a function. So first in function what you have to do? Return type. So suppose return type is what? Void. Suppose void. Function name is what? Marks. And we will what we have to do? We have to replace the argument with the array. So the argument is always written with in this net bracket. So what we will do here? We will just introduce this array here. So we will write directly int array 3. Just fine. Not we will close here. We will write the body section of this array. Means now we have to initialize the array, because array we have to initialize. In the beginning I have said two things, declaration and initialization. So declaration means calling first time. So if we write any array, suppose int marks like 5, this is the what? Declaration of array. But just I have declared here array, I have don't give it a value, any value, but just I have defined it. We can store 5 values in this array. For storing value we have to initialize this. We have to store values first time. So in the body section we will perform the same thing with the array. So here we can do what? We have to just store a value. So now we'll write array what? Array 3 values, 20, 40, 17. These are the values. Fine. And we have to print it. You can print. So let's print what? Marks of students. Marks percentage for this what we have to do. Just I'm going to take a hint. I'm just confused a little bit. It is better to make a mistake. Just take a hint. Passing area is a function. I'm going to introduce here. So here we are just taking an example of some function. Means firstly we have to take array of 5, size 5, and there we have to return the sum of those all array. So firstly we just write here a function of sum. We introduce the array size 5 in the place of argument. Then in the body section we just int s introduce the sum, and for int I we just print the value of array, and then we write the process of summation. So sum equal to sum plus array I by using for loop, then printed the total sum of element equal to percentage d s. In the main section what we will do, int x equal to 5, we will just give the value, or we will provide the actual value of the function 20, 10, 20, 15, 16, and then we will finally function call. We will call the function, then it will be the give the result. So that is all about the function, and now we are going to just see the two topics superficially mainly, that is structure and union. What are two these? Structure and union. UNI union लिखने वाले थे. So structure structure is nothing but to store the data in a structured format. In the array, what we are doing in array, we can just only store the single data type, means single type data in the same array. If we made an array by the int marks, we can just store in this only marks 20, 30, 40. We can't store the mobile phone, the email ID, or another name of a student. It is not possible in array. So that's why we introduce a structure to hide the data. So how a structure works? So structure and union both works in a similar ways. They both take different types of data and store it, but structure store in the separate location. Suppose he will store, if we give name, introduce name, here age, here contact number, in different location, it will store data in different location. But union stores data in the single block of memory. It use different memory for different type of data. Suppose we made a structure, taking an example, a structure std, and structure std name, int name होगा, char name होगा, char name, H. Care male. We have introduced made this, and also we have made, I'm following the right thing. Suppose wait. I made taking the different direction data. Mathematical functions, structures. Char name, size, data type, int, roll number, marks. Where we introduce character, we will give the size up, and in the union, return. We started with the union. That's fine. Just we can introduce here the size of character, then everything is fine. In the union, we just will use char x and not char int and int y and char x. That's fine. And when we will initialize it, just we have here declared, give it a format, just defined it. But when we initialize it in the main section, in the main, by taking the suppose we have to find the name, so name dot is so when we have to find, it will and print if student name, std name equal to percentage c, then name dot is so this will store all these three type of data. Suppose we have three data, name, age and male. It will store three different memory location, memory blocks of memory, in which in a structure. But when we will call in the main section, int main, not call but initialize. I have said wrong. Suppose wrong. Let's take an example. I may use my laptop for better understanding it. Because if it just I have searched this on ChatGPT, and here we can understand it in a better manner. Contiguous memory location of a structure. So if we share here, control control shift plus organized almost. So here is a structure. So what is the format of a structure? A structure, a student, int is float marks. Mask is declared in the form of float. Grade is char. And here we will see if int main when we are calling the structure student is. So firstly we have to initialize here by giving it a value. After calling we have to initialize these three by providing value of age, marks and grade. Marks is 16, age is 16, marks is 88.5 and grade is A. Now when we are going to print this all, the return value will be 16, 18 and A. That is the main functionality. It is storing the all three data type in three different memory. But when we going to see the union is a similar to almost a structure, because you can see similar to a structure, just we are declared the union data int x float y char z. Similarly in the main section what we call the union, and when we initialize it by giving values to each variables. To x we give the value 10 and then print it by dot x because d is data and the name of union is data, so we d dot x say print here, and then we similarly assign the value to all three variables x, y and z. And if you see here in the last we gave to the value a, and when we will saw the printed value, when we are going to print the value after storing these all values, just we are getting, here is output section, before storing when we here printed it is the same, but after storing the character, when we stored the character, just we will get the value of what, z. The value of x and y will be random value, it will be not shown. So here we can we can analyze a thing between a structure and union. Union just after storing gives the value of the last stored value. Just display the value of last printed element, but in a structure it shows every element. Here we can see all output of all values, but here x and y are the random value just. And if we saw here the diagram of memory, the structure is a structure memory diagram. It is storing the different type of age about which I am talking, age and marks in different memory location and different memory block. But when we saw in the union, for union sire, same memory block, these all three variables x, y and z are storing in the same memory block. That's fine. And here about which I am talking, मेमोरी में ए का आ गया दोनों एक्स वाई फिर से करप्ट. हाँ यूनियन एक ही मेमोरी एक ही समय में केवल एक वैल्यू सही है, मीन्स it just it displays only one value at a time in union, but a structure it can display multiple values at a time. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much.